Hi, welcome everybody. Just setting up the last few minute things, getting ready, posting that, and we're just about ready to get started. Yay! Just about ready. I'll move that over there. All right. Hello. Good morning. And hi. Close that one. Close that one. Move that over to here. LinkedIn always takes forever because it's LinkedIn. um, Just give me 2 seconds, por favor, and we will get started in just a moment. Wow, why is that slow? That's moving real slow. Hope you're having a good morning. I'm having quite the fantastic day. So, if you're watching, is it really going to do this to me? It really is. Alright, we're going to have to encode this mother. Bam. Just in case, copy that. Now we're going to upload this one. There we go. Alright. Sorry about that. Why is that being weird? Why are you being weird? Why are you doing this? Technical problems in the morning. Nothing I can't solve, but we're gonna hop over. Alright, here we go. Let's get started today. Transitioning. Good morning, everyone. Hello. Top of the morning. Oh, I can't use that catchphrase. I'm sorry. Not my catchphrase. But, god dang it, LinkedIn. Alright. Today, we are going to be doing the attack animation on the Frogman. Now, I got a treat for you. You're going to actually see my personal reference that I used specifically for this attack. Now, I did 2 attacks in the video, and I did that for a very special reason. And why, LinkedIn, why? Okay, we're gonna do this. Discard. Start a new one. Because I saved it. Because I'm smart man. Post. There we go. I just wanted to post something to LinkedIn about me streaming, so hopefully we get a few extra viewers, and it'll be nice. Very nice. And anyway, you're going to be seeing me in my reference video, which is going to be pretty hilarious. Now, to get started, I want to bring up 2 things before we get into this, and that is 2 different references that I want to bring up that has helped me out over the past couple of days, and that is this book. I don't know if you can see it. Game Anim by Jonathan Cooper. This dude, this guy, this person, I ain't judging. This person, they made a book on obviously game animation, but he was in, he worked for EA, or I'm sorry, Ubisoft, and I think he's now currently working for Naughty Dog. he did a lot of the Assassin's Creed 3 animation, which I have been using, not necessarily reference, but just going to for like personal inspiration, I guess, if you want to say. Uh, he did, actually, we'll look him up. He does some very, very fantastic animations. We're going to get to that in a little bit. Jonathan Cooper, animator. We're gonna check out his demo reel really quick. But I have to give him props to this book. This book is absolutely. I think this is the website about the book. Yeah, these are all the games he worked on. Uncharted 4. I have a signed copy of the developers of that. That's freaking awesome. We won that from a game jam. From working with the same people that I'm working on for this animation. So that's pretty interesting for that. So that's pretty cool. Let's check out his demo. His 2017 demo. This dude really, yeah, amazing animator. Um, he's the guy where I actually got the idea from to do the transition between the walk cycle and the run cycle, because I think if it shows it, I used a reference in class. It's just for the Uncharted one. Um, let's see if it has it. Yeah, this is the exact video that I absolutely love and adore. Actually, we'll just open it up on this one. I think that's ArtStation. Yeah, we'll go to ArtStation. This guy is very nice. Nope, we're not gonna do that then. Come on. I don't have my Vimeo set up on this computer yet. Come on, can we get a YouTube? Should have just done this on YouTube. I don't know why I do this. Sorry. You just have to see it. You have to see it to understand. Alright. Where's the exact video? Is it really not gonna have it? There's one really good video, and we're just gonna do this then. Assassin's Creed 3 animation. Alright, guess we're not gonna be able to see it, but he did some amazing animations for Assassin's Creed 3 that I absolutely love and adore, and huge inspiration to me. It phenomenal. But he did this book, and it's helping me with. I just got it a couple days ago. It just came out, I think, 2 weeks ago, and I got it in the mail. Had it on pre-order for a little bit. Incredible, incredible book. It's helping me out with especially the attack animations, which we are about to do. I read all about it recently, and how we're gonna go about doing this attack. Very, very, very incredibly good book. I'll probably put a link maybe to like the Amazon or that page later. The other thing I mentioned about, I think on the last one, was this SIGGRAPH video. This SIGGRAPH video is absolutely phenomenal, and it's helped me out with this and other constraint animations. I knew and understood how to do constraint animations for a while. Uh, I got the hang of them a little bit. This one solidified it. Like this video was so helpful. I followed this like religiously, and it was truly. Oh, now you're gonna work linking it. All right, we're good. Sorry, just wanted to fix that. But we'll get back to both of these references. I'm going to be referencing them throughout the entire video and how to do this attack animation. This is my first attack animation. It is for a it is for an enemy. It's an enemy attack animation, so we're going to do one of two things. With my reference, I did two different types of attacks for him through many different videos. I'm not the best actor, I guess. Well, I wasn't really prepared. I don't know. But I did two different types. I did an attack where he attacks and goes all the way through and follows through with the strike, comes back to, or does a reaction, and then gets back to idle pose. And then the second one, I did it as if he attacked and rebounded if contacted, um, retracted, and then back to idle. So we're going to do one of those two. And we're going to go with the first one of the follow through. It makes a little bit more sense to me to do that because if he's a big guy, he's pretty strong. I feel like he's going to follow through completely through it, but we'll play with both just to see how it works. Now we're going to do a long retractive state. We're going to not necessarily follow the timing I have. We're going to exaggerate that a bit for two reasons. One, because it is an enemy cycle, we want to give from what I'm believing and thinking, is we want to give the player enough time to be able to dodge. We don't want a straight attack, obviously. So we're going to over exaggerate the pullback, and maybe we're going to see if we're going to put in maybe an extra frame on the follow through. So, reading from this book, Jonathan Cooper's book, we're going to see if it needs an extra frame or two to give the player an extra time to dodge. Maybe, we'll see. So I'm going to be following very closely to this. This is my first go on an attack cycle. We're also going to be doing the idle pose. We're not going to do the full idle right now, but we're going to start the pose, and then later on I'll do an idle animation stream. I don't think so. It won't take that much time. I'll probably just do that on my own. Won't be that bad. We'll see. I did the walk cycle though. If you want to check out the walk cycle, I'm pretty sure I uploaded it on whatever you're watching this on. So yeah, we'll get started with this now. But yeah, let's get to this. We got the Frogman. We're gonna bring up my terrible video, but it's got the right poses I want to make. So we're gonna probably keep somewhat of this sort of pose. I know it's me. I don't like seeing myself on camera. I mean, like, yeah, I do this too, but especially this when I'm trying to like specifically act and get a thing, I don't like watching myself. But I'll get the right poses I need. So that's the first one. That's the follow through I was talking about, and then this one is the contact attack, which I'm not sure if I want to do, but we're gonna start with the first one first, obviously. Yeah, that one. So I over exaggerated this pose. Yeah, you get to see my stomach. Awesome. um, but we're gonna start with a pose like that. So looking at him, and especially when he did the walk cycle, it made him somewhat hunched over, gave him a little bit more hunched personality, and that's what we're gonna go with. We're gonna first start off with this, get this frame done. This is probably gonna be. Oh, just want to check something first. I want to make sure I have it on 30 frames per second, and I do. So the game is done in 30 frames per second. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to show you. I wanted to bring this up again. And post. I want to pull up this YouTube video for you guys to show you what game I'm working on. Here we go. Here it is. YouTube video. Bam. Alright. So the game is Needlepoint. It is for a SCAD senior project, which should be done. I think, what did I say? I said it last time. I'm guessing. You didn't tell me the complete deadline. I'm guessing sometime around 10th of May to 17th of May, thinking. I don't know for sure, but guessing. But this is the game. I did a few animations for this character, not these animations. I did not do these. This was the test video I saw that kind of got me into it a bit. And they don't have the frog character. They just finished the frog character, so, and they're allowing me to stream this, in case you're asking. And so this is the game we're working on. Very, very neat idea. I like the idea of running around with a piece of thread and using that as a nice platformer. It's very, very unique. And I can't wait to see this finish. And I'm very happy to be working on it. I did some great animations for that character so far. I did a dodge roll for her and a jump, which was both those were actually my first. That was my first dodge roll and my first jump, because I've done a bunch of cycles, dance cycles, walk cycles, different looks, left, right, up, down, all sorts of different things. But that was my first for jump. This is my first for attack, so we're gonna do this together. And get rid of that. So we're gonna do this together. That's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna get back to the reference. We're gonna just get that pose. So the biggest thing, and a common misconception, which even Jonathan Cooper says in the book I mentioned, this book. What's up, buddy? But the big misconception is when animating is, he says it, that beginners often make the mistake that you're not supposed to use reference, or that's what beginners sometimes think, that they think it's cheating and stuff like that. Not completely the case, not what we were told at SCAD at all either. We were told to use as much reference as possible, and it cuts out on a lot of time. If I did my acting right, I could have even copied the timing of it, but I definitely didn't. Probably didn't get the speed right. I feel like I moved a little more sluggish than I wanted to, but whatever. That's fine. We are gonna, but reference is the key to everything, even drawing. I everything. Just reference everything. That's like the biggest tip that I could give for this. And I'm glad he solidified my thought on that, because sometimes when I first started out, I was thinking like reference is like cheating, like copying and all that. I never necessarily copied my reference to a T. I did a lot of referencing to it and followed a few different things, followed a few different timings, but it just cuts out so much time. It's so helpful, and you're getting the most lifelike thing. I didn't do it for the walk cycle. Well, I did do it for the walk cycle. I had the 100 different walk cycles on that YouTube that I used, and I definitely had the link up for it. I'm pretty sure, uh, and use that as reference. Like every time I need to physically see it to be able to animate. So even when I did the dodge roll and the jump cycles, I was not only referencing to real life, I was also referencing to some animations as well. I don't want to rely on the other animations, but since it was a game animation, real quick, before we get started, I just want to mention this. There was a very, very key thinking to about doing a jump animations, and it really bothered me. I even contacted a Blizzard animator who did a lot of the animations for Overwatch. And the idea I had was when a player presses a button, the jump button, on the camera from first person, the camera immediately goes up vertically. Now that thinking about that, you're like, yeah, of course that's supposed to happen. But when you're thinking about animation, there is a lot more to just that. When you go to jump, what do you first do? You actually go down into a crouch form, a crouch pose, and then up. So when you think about that, you're like, oh wow, that's weird. And you look at their animations, some of the characters, not all, some of them actually do go into a crouch pose for like two frames or so, and I slowed them down. I watched them like religiously, um, but it was bothering me, so I had to ask the questions. And it is for appeal, especially when you're looking at a character who's doing it. it'll do. Obviously, the camera won't do it though, which is kind of weird. But honestly, it's more of that, which is what Jonathan Cooper even mentions in his book. It's more when you're doing game animation, you have to think not only for the animation's sake, but the game feel sake, and that's why it can be a little bit different than just animating for a movie or a short. So it it's really interesting to think about that, and that's why the jump pose or the jump animation really bothered me because like there's a lot more to it than just going up and then back down. And if you ever watch the animations to Overwatch and their jump, there's a video of it, and you could slow it down by pressing. If you pause the video, press comma and period, you could go frame by frame and watch how the animations are. Incredibly hilarious. They stretch the crap out of them. They stretch the crap out of the characters, and it's funny. But the thing is, you as a player don't know about it. It looks fluid and perfect when you're playing the game, but until you slow it down and you look at it from an animator's view, you see not necessarily mistakes, just differences. And like I even asked the animator who did it, like sometimes you see the feet clip through the ground, and honestly, I even said like I figured yeah that came from a programming side or the delay, the lag between um, the game and the actual animation. It's just a computer thing. It won't always keep up, right? But you never notice it. But sorry to go into that little bit of theory and idea behind this, but um, I thought it was very interesting. I thought it was very interesting to think about that. So now we're gonna get back into the pose. I already forgot it, so we're gonna stretch his feet out a little bit, but we're gonna get into this now. I'll probably move it back a little bit, but yeah, my day's going great. Jimmy, for watching. Yeah, thanks, buddy. Thanks for watching. But we're gonna get this first pose, and I crouched a little bit, leaned forward slightly. Now, since this is a frog character, it does a lot of different things. Um, there we go. Why did I have that on object? I never switch rotation to object rotation. That's weird. But yeah, I started reading this the animation book by Jonathan Cooper. It's it's absolutely phenomenal. I think it's a great reference to use, much like it is using um, the Illusion of Life book and oh my god, what's the other one? Drawing a blank on it. I have it upstairs. I'll bring it down later. But no, no, that's one. But with this three-part legged, I've done a few animations on creatures before, so getting this just right. Move this one forward a little bit. Make sure he's balanced. Sure. Rotate it out just slightly. Get that. Maybe move this one in slightly. Yeah, that looks good. Um, is this gonna work? Dang it. Alright, so quick tip. Something I like to do is I like to grab all the controls. If I want to set like major key poses, quick set, collect, and ugh. First we're going to delete these two. Delete, because those don't work. And that's because I just redid. I usually have a rig, and then I have a setup file in Maya, and then I open the setup file, and if I want to do a different animation, I'll um, I'll save out from that and change that file, but I'll have always the setup. And I just recently changed it, so that's why those controls aren't working for me. But this is gonna be the frog all. So sometimes I'll just like select like the hands or maybe the arm, and then if I just want to select the arm, or like if I want to just move the character but not the master control, I'll select a few different movement controls, and I'll just be able to quick select them. So like, bam, I select all the controls, and now I can key them. So that's just a quick little tip I like to do. For this one, it's going to be pretty simple with the keyframes, though. It's going to be very simple. What we're going to do. It says I'm on Kingdom Hearts 3. I guess my restream didn't update the thing for that. That's weird. But I will be streaming Kingdom Hearts 3 later. Actually, I'm going to double check on that real quick. Yeah, my stuff should be right. Maybe Twitch is acting weird. Technical problems. Thanks, Jimmy. I don't know what you're seeing, Jimbo. Jimmy. But oh, where was I at? Oh, so this should be easy. We're only gonna probably do 4, maybe 5 keyframes, and we're gonna do the first one, which is this pose. We're gonna do the retraction, which is gonna be right about there. I'm gonna exaggerate. So he's a frog. I really want to extend those legs out, and that should give the extra timing we need for the player to be able to dodge, because the player needs that time, needs the visual cue, and the visual cue. Yeah, it is your fault, Jimmy. But the player needs the visual cue, and the visual cue is going to be a longer wind up, and that's going to be the time when the player knows, hey, let's press the B button to dodge to the right or the left. So that's what we're going to do for that. Then we're going to do the attack where it goes through. Might do one. See if I can get it. I normally do this through QuickTime, but I didn't feel like opening it up. But it'll be forward and then maybe all the way back, or maybe just all the way through. We'll see when we get to that one. So that might be 2 right there. Then we need a retraction, so he's going to pull back up, and then back to idle. So that's roughly 4 or 5 that we're going to do, and then it's going to be very simple animation. Very easily done after that. And then I'll get into the other reference done by Richard Lego? I'm not sure how to pronounce it. He doesn't say in the video. But he does an attack animation using constraints. And like I said before, it was absolutely phenomenal. He uses it to learn a lot more about constraint animations than I already knew, and it just helps a lot. We did it before in the other videos with the belly shield and the tongue, and we're going to be doing it again for those. Probably not as much, but not as intuitive, but we'll see. And but we'll definitely be using it for the wrist and the tip of the sword, which he does, and we're going to do damn near the same thing. I'm not going to try and exactly copy it, but he does it the best way and kind of the only way I know how. But we'll continue. We're just going to get the pose I want again. Get back to that. But yeah, I really like this pose, especially down at the feet. And I'm really going to over exaggerate that. And I do like the arm in front because he does have like a hunched over, so I really feel like he's going to bring that arm back. And I use an umbrella. I thought a lot about this when doing this. I use the umbrella because he's a very big dude, and the sword is somewhat doesn't look too heavy. I mean, it's a sword and it should have enough weight, but compared to his arms and his strength, he should be able to swing that fairly smoothly and quickly. Fairly. But so that's why I picked an umbrella. It's somewhat light to me and a little bit of length, and I was getting the feel for it. So I did think about that reference and try to match it as best to what I think the character will do. But sorry, I go on a crap ton of tangents, but I do enjoy this rig a lot, though. I think it's a very well done rig, especially for the most ones I've seen come from SCAD. Uh, Usually, just there's a lot of mistakes. This one, there's like only one that's annoying. I'm using that word loosely. It's not really that annoying. It's just you just have to understand it. And I just keep saying that over and over again, but I'm only saying that because in case somebody's viewing this. Um, when you rig, there's a directional pattern for the joints, and I don't believe they set that up or they did that. It's not the end of the world, and I've been animating with it regardless. So, and I did some pretty solid animations, so not that big a deal. But we're just gonna get this pose right, rock the shoulder back. What kind of rotation do I have? But this is what we're doing. We're getting that pose just right. We want to move this back. So we're probably not going to move the feet too much, except to probably get him more on his toes, which we can definitely do. Not a problem. Rock the shoulder back a little bit more. Rock the shoulder forward a little bit, right? Yeah. Ah, that's why I had it on object. So when we rotate the feet, we're going to keep that on world instead of object because of that joint thing. That's why I did that. I just didn't do it for the other ones. But aim that back a bit. So with a heavy object, you actually keep that very close to your body. Um, Heavier objects, you keep it close to your center point of gravity. So that's what we're going to be doing with that. It's not necessarily heavy to him, but it is some sort of weight, and he wants to stay somewhat relaxed in an idle pose. That's what we do. When you have something, you're relaxed, you try and find the most comfortable weight, but you let your arm swing, and it's going to stay as close to your center of gravity as physically possible. And to that, it's going to not collide with or get as close to the leg, but not collide with it. So that's going to be pretty much as idle, or for that arm anyway. So negative, Lauren. I am animating. Actually, I'm just kidding. I'm going to be taking this for just 2 seconds. It's important. Alright, sorry about that. Uh, it snowed here, and that was my wife. I was just making sure she is okay. But she is. She's just getting out slightly early. She's getting out slightly early, and she just wanted to make sure the roads are okay. And because I'm a good husband and I care for her well-being, I do. That wasn't a joke, but in case she does catch this, I'm a good husband. I am. I try to be anyway. Maybe relax this arm a little bit forward more. Rotate that back. Come on. But yeah, I am a little bit more in attack mode, I guess, right there. So I kind of want him slightly more relaxed, and I think that's a pretty good pose. So we're gonna key that on the first frame and the last frame, and that so because that's the pose he's gonna go back to. That's idle. But shut up, Jimmy. You're always messing with me, man. Tell me I'm muted, I'm not muted. Oh, I'm gonna stream gaming and I'm just gonna wreck you. We're gonna play some Siege. I'm just gonna keep constantly killing you. I don't care if I get the ban. I'll get banned for a week, or I'll make it look like an accident. I actually probably should stream some Siege soon. He just had a tournament. How did that go? How did your tournament go, Jimmy? I know you invited me and I was asleep when you invited me. You never told me how that went. Yeah, so we got that keyed. The next frame, next key pose we're gonna do that one. We could do a little squash beforehand, get like a little bit of anticipation and then back up. I don't think we need to. I don't think it's that big of a frame that we need to. We're just gonna go to that. You always lose to mouse and keyboard. I don't believe you now. Is that just your go-to excuse that you're losing to mouse and key? What do I got? 30 frames? 30? Yeah. Uh, Now, real quick in the animation book that I've been referencing so far, this one, uh, he talks about doing an attack cycle. You don't always want to move the entire body, but like I said, um, he we want to give the since this is I'm pretty sure he was referencing mainly the main character attacking. This is the enemy, so and like I said before, we want to give that character or the player enough time to react to the pose. So we're gonna and by giving the character visual cues, and the visual cue is lifting up the character. So it's becoming an epidemic now. I can't win. You can come over to Apex Legends. I've been dominating in that. Not really dominating, but we've been winning a lot more in Apex Legends than I am in any other battle royale. I don't know if it's because it's easier. I don't think it's that easier. It is still a pretty fair battle royale, but I don't know. I've been catching more wins. First day, I caught like 3 wins. Everybody's been wanting to play with me recently. Like, okay, I've been getting so many invitations to play video games lately from different groups of people some that I haven't even talked to in like a while. And not to say I don't want to play with you or I don't want to play with them. I do. I really do. I really want to play Kingdom Hearts 3 so bad. And the only day I've ever played it was the first day. That was the only day I played Kingdom Hearts. And I just really want to play it. I want to know the story. So many people I know have already beaten it except for me. Which is sad because I got it. I immediately started streaming. Why is that different? There you go. I'm sorry. Just people crawled out of the woodwork. My cousin, my brother, a few other people that are not going to be named. But my brother did just get a PS4 because I gave him my old one because I did get the Kingdom Hearts 3 one. How far back is this? Eh. He rotates his body. I rotate the body way, way more. So I'll rotate the chest back just a little bit. and the head a lot more. Neck up. Ah, I see that. I see it now. Oh, don't want to rotate that one. Hey. So we don't want to completely block his face. We want to, because I think I blocked my face a little bit, yeah. We don't want to stretch this character out though. So we're going to also play with translations. Normally in most animations I don't play with translations too much in the body. I know that's a common thing now that people like to do. Is really stretch out the characters, but I'm getting used to it. I haven't done it as much, but we'll see. We'll see how I feel about it. But I really want that stretch going on because you see, I fully extend my body out, and I absolutely love that. So we're probably gonna get this down more, squish the body inwards a bit, probably. Yeah, that's what we want to do. Let's see if we can get it. Might have to play with the scale. No, we're not gonna play with the scale. But if you see in my pose, I even do it. You get some, well, from this angle you can't really see it, but from the front, I can just tell. He arcs. He has a nice, beautiful arc, or I, a nice arc going backwards. I don't like talking about myself, and I guess condescending. I don't know. Is that condescending? I don't know. We're getting there. Slowly, slowly getting there. But this is my first attack. So he's really getting that reach, and we want this to be slow. We're going to have a nice arc coming in. So he goes for that arc, then forward and around. So yeah, you could totally tell with the body now. And we're going to rotate the head just a little bit to the right. We're going to play with that tongue. When I did the walk cycle for this, I had a really good bounce for the tongue, and I don't know if she's watching, but friend from Scatty messaged me on LinkedIn saying she loved the tongue animation, and yeah, it was my first. Well, I've touched rigs like this where it has tongues like that or tails and different things like that, but never a tongue. And I enjoyed playing with that. I did my constraint animation, which we'll get to again, and it came out beautifully. So we're gonna bring him to the. Just want to see if I actually go to the right. I go pretty much up, but I feel to get that curve a little bit more, we're just going to go to the right a little bit. Yeah. Nice. I don't ever normally look at spline. I do, but only for like I just want to see how it's going to look when I get the spline. I normally keep it in blocking, and that's how you should do it. It's blocking, so it's just one keyframe to the next, to the next, to the next, and then so it literally just looks like that to that, that to that, that to that. That's blocking. And then you do the spline, which Maya will automatically generate the moves from one to the next, and that's how Maya works. In case you didn't know, most of you might already know that. I'm liking it. We're gonna play with the belly and the tongue after when you get the animation. That's an overlapping thing. So overlapping is one of the 12 principles. And it really knocks in. Well, it will show the weight of the belly shield and a little bit of the weight of the tongue, but it just offsets everything else on the body somewhat, and it gives it that real lifelike feel. Hmm. So they do have some weird. They don't lift the heel. That's there. That's close. All right, we're just gonna have to counter animate with the toes. That's just a rigging thing. Again, not that bad, but we'll bring it down a little bit. We could just animate it. We don't have to use the toe roll. What we can do is heel roll. No, no. I just had it, didn't I? No, that doesn't look right. Hmm. Oh, no. Come on. Fudge. I didn't save any of that either. Guess what we're doing all over again? Oh, this is a nice stream. I like it. Well, that was fun. End of stream. Goodbye. Just kidding. We'll get back into it. Honestly, it didn't take that much time now that I've already done it once. So, there is an actual bright side to having Maya crash on you. There really is. It's not the end of the world. Even though I didn't save much, I did have the setup save, which is perfect. But the bright side to having a computer or the Maya crash on you, nothing to do with my computer at all. It's just Maya just crashes. It'll do something weird. It'll skip, and I think Maya 2019 crashes a lot less, but I don't really know. I haven't really touched it too much, but oh, no, dang it! I have to recreate my. Ooh, excuse me. I'm just. I have to recreate my button. But yeah, um, the bright side is you end up getting to do your animation over again, and well, yeah, that sounds. Oh, that's not a good thing. It can be, and you learn from your mistakes. One, you save. Two, anything you did in that you didn't like, or um, something that you wanted to fix that you didn't get to, you now have the chance to do it. Not only that, you've done it before. You're able to do it 10 times quicker, depending on how quick you like to move. Um, but but oh no, he crouches down a little bit, just slightly. But we get to do this animation all over again. Now I obviously don't have a three three jointed leg like that. Like I said before, we gotta change this rotation to world on the feet because of the way it was rigged. We can't do that, but we gotta change back the rotation tool. So this is the tool settings. This is you can, if you didn't know, you double click this, or you can go through the windows and stuff like that. You can change it from object to world, component, gimbal, custom. Never ever use gimbal. It's like incredibly rare that you can use gimbal. I have to let the dogs outside. Awesome. Um, just give me 2 seconds, dogs. uh, you never want to use gimbal. You mainly want to keep it in For rotations, it's best to keep an object. But since we want to keep this foot level with the ground, we want to keep it with world. And since the way it was rigged, object is a little off. Because you look, it's not level with the ground. Most of the times when you do have that, it will be level with the ground, at least starting off, so that's why we're changing it to world. And you're going to have some really weird numbers, and adjusting it on the curve of the animation, the graph editor, it's going to not be looking right. But I think that's what we had it around. Back to checked. Could squeeze it out a little bit, but yeah, give me 2 seconds. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to let my dogs outside, and since it snowed, I actually have to clean them, so I'll also take a small bathroom break. Alright, I'm back. Ready to continue animating. Even though we had our first little hiccup from Maya being a pain. There we go. Welcome back. Sorry. Dogs come first. But So, how's everybody doing? How's your day going? I have recently watched some Megalobox, and it is one incredible anime. Absolutely love it. It is pretty male centric, but I still find it very enjoyable. There's only one female character, and she probably is the strongest character. Not necessarily physically, but just as a character in general. Oh, that reset the chat. Cool. Um, she is the strongest character, the only one that I've seen. The only main character. But take this shoulder back a little bit. This one forward again. Somewhat relaxed. So rotate a little bit up. Kind of as like a counterbalance. This one kind of should be dropping because of the extra weight. There's a lot to think about as an anime. You got to think about some sort of physics because you're gonna have weight in this arm unless you're like physically keeping up. But it's an idle pose. He's somewhat relaxed. The shoulders should be dropping, and as a counterbalance, the other shoulder is gonna come up just slightly, not a lot. It's not like incredibly noticeable, but it should. Did I miss anything? No, I don't think you did. What do you mean? I Maya crashed on me. If I don't know if you missed that. Bring the wire out just slightly, maybe. Oh, nice. Glad that you finally showered for once. It was funny for me. Love you, dude. Oh, I cracked myself up. Yeah, yeah. Dude, if you didn't stink so much, I wouldn't be making fun of you. All right, should be good. Um, stop that, stop that. Yeah, I like it. I like it. We're gonna key that again. Key the final frame. So I'm doing it as a cycle. There's something that I've noticed with cycles. It depends on um, how kind of cycle you want. It's the cycle is going to go from 1 to 30, and frame 31 is going to be the exact mirror of 1, but final frame 30 is going to be set just before that. It's a weird thing that I've noticed and done with doing other animations for another thing I've been doing, separated from this. Um, it depends on how it's going to be programmed, if you're going to need the same mirror completely back to the idle pose, but we're just going to do it the way I know how to do it. I'm not, I'm obviously not, and I'm experienced. I'm not like terribly experienced. I'm somewhat beginning my career. But yeah, we got that. I like the pose. We're going to go back to 5 and start this frame over again because Maya likes to crash. But back a little bit, rotate. Let's see. I'm pretty much go up, but I really want to over exaggerate the twist and get that curve back in there that did before I was so rudely interrupted by Maya. So there is another way to get the reference actually in Maya. I did not want to do it because I felt as if my reference was not. The only reason to really do that is if you just want it all on one screen or if you want to copy the exact timing. I didn't want to copy the exact timing because I felt like it wasn't the way I wanted it to be. And it wasn't the way I wanted it to be exactly as far as timing goes. But we're going to match that pose up again. This is probably where I was last left off before Maya crash. Make sure the body is over the feet. That's also another thing, is there's an actual physics to a tipping object. Obviously, you can probably make that. It's your center point of gravity, but the actual physics beyond it is the best way I can do is just by showing it. So the way I learned about it is, say you have a rectangle, right? Now, this center point where the tool is at is the let's see, mesh. Where is it? Modify and center pivot. It is the, if you were to click that button, it would make the pivot, which is the center of the tool control, exactly the center of the object that you want, or the center of gravity, I guess you could say. And the point of when this is gonna tip over, like it will be perfectly balanced when that pivot is directly over that point. If I was to able to line that up and like create some sort of realistic physics for it, that will not tip over. It won't. Period. Uh, but once when the center pivot goes over this point, its last reference point to the ground, then the object will tip. It is the same exact thing when it comes to animating a character. Your center point of gravity, granted, no control is going to be the one center point of gravity for a character. You kind of just got to tell. Now, he's a top heavy character. Obviously, there ain't much weight to his legs. It's pretty much centered probably around here. And at all points, you want to make sure that's over the base. Now, the base is probably going to be any from the tip of the feet to probably a little bit back a little bit right here roughly. So you want that center point of gravity always over that, unless he's doing a walk cycle or he's jumping or doing some crazy movements where he's going to catch himself with his foot and move his foot. And that's technically what a walk or a run is your foot is catching yourself as you're falling. Same concept, but we're not moving the feet, so we want roughly the center point of gravity over the feet as much as we can spare. That's not always true. You can exaggerate that, but it's just a thing I like to follow. But this is a pretty good form so far. We want to rotate the head back again, because looking back at the reference pose, yeah, I guess that was it. I should have reopened this up in QuickTime, but the other thing I exaggerate is the left to right. We really want to over exaggerate that curve too. Give it a nice little curve going. It's appealing. That curve is appealing. And we want him to lean back. I don't think I touched the shoulder. There we go. This one rotates forward. Put it down. I don't want to cover the face. In my reference, I covered the face. We're not going to do that. And should be somewhat relaxed. There we go. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. I like it. Frog, key that all on 5. Make sure that's keyed. Next frame. I'm deciding whether I want to do an in-between immediately right in between there, but we'll follow that frame. So now he's going to go immediately down. He's going to twist down, crouch. Oh, wow, that was awesome. Ah, something I forgot to do. I forgot to work the hips a little bit. The direction. Almost forgot to. And that's what's good about keying everything like that is you can make these adjustments now, and it's not going to wreck any of my animation. Do I want this there? I want to move this back a little bit, just in case. If you're wondering what I'm listening to, I am listening to the lo-fi chill hop I normally always listen to. It doesn't have really any lyrics at all, but it's nice and soothing. It's nice and soothing. I'm not worrying about these. I'll get to fixing that. It's not a big deal at all. But it's nice and soothing. I like jazz hip hop stuff. It's like Cowboy Bebop or Samurai Champloo stuff. That's where I first learned about it. But legs and hip look. Oh no, I already adjusted that. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Okay, now I can go back to this one. But yeah, this is my first attack cycle. I kind of like how it's going so far. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice. Yeah, a lot of this stuff looks funky as you're animating it, but that's why we're keyframing it. I'll rotate that more. And we're just about to get to the back side of it. It's one good saxophone player. Do I have it bent? No, I do. The wrist is turned. So the one thing I'm not necessarily worrying about right now is how the wrist is going to be. So now I guess it's... I don't know if it's time yet to bring up the reference I mentioned earlier. But we're going to get this good twisting motion. Just the shoulder. So this is what we call keyframing. I know I mentioned it before. I don't know if new people came in or not, but this is keyframing. We pretty much get the key poses of the animation first. There's two ways to animate, roughly, kind of. It's part of the principles. It's called straight ahead or pose to pose. This is what's called pose to pose. I have set poses that I want to animate, and then I'll keep going in between and in between and in between, and keep making more key poses in between the others. That's one way to do it. Or you do it straight ahead, in which case, to get more like a random motion, for most cases, it's more of a random motion, like say like a tail, unless you have a specific way you want the tail to move. You'll animate straight ahead where you'll go from frame 1 to frame 2 to frame 3 and animate constantly that way and not really have not necessarily have a set plan. You know what? This book, like I mentioned before, has 12 principles in here, and I will read the definition for you on how he. I didn't get to this part of the book because I already know the 12 principles of animation. Straight ahead, post 31. Referring purely to the process of animation creation, these two techniques describe the difference between working on frames continuously, starting from frame 1 and then onward, which is straight ahead, versus dropping in only the key poses called blocking. Damn near exactly what I said. To quickly create a first pass message from then on, and then go, and then again, this has more relevance to linear animation, especially in 2D. Preservation of volume was key. Yeah, so on and so forth. He goes into a little bit of the history. And CG animation, there's no need to work on the former. Yeah, he goes into depth in it and how it's going to relate more to animation. I didn't fully read this book yet. I literally just got it. I'm, like, I guess, a quarter of the way through it. I'm almost to that section, but I do know the 12 principles of animation. If you don't, as an animator, you will fail. I'm going to straight up say that. That is a given fact. If you don't know those 12 animations by heart, you are going to fail. I'm not going to go into all those right now, but that is the main way to animate, though. Did I get that right? Here we go. Now, you're mostly not going to see that unless the character comes around the backside, but we are going to animate in all different directions regardless. He's doing a twisting motion. So when you're twisting and having your arm rotate out, it's kind of like a counterbalance, which is why it's going back that way. Rotate the shoulder back more. As far back as it rotates. Awesome. Oh, wrong one. Here we go. This three-jointed, technically four-jointed leg is very interesting. Never did it as like a biped, but technically if you're working with a four-legged creature, most of the time the back legs are going to be more like this anyway, and you kind of got to treat them like the back legs like a biped almost. It's working as with a creature is very, very different than working with a biped, but it does have similarities, and that's like the best way I can describe it. Now, I again have a nice curve, but it's aiming more that direction, that way. So we are going to do a really cool technique, and it's going to clean up this animation though for us, and it's going to magically animate the wrist animation and the sword, and it's going to keep a nice clean path. Because if probably watch this, it's doing something weird right there. But I'm going to put another keyframe in there to straighten out the arm. But even from from that pose to the straight arm, it's going to do some really weird animations, and it's not going to be right automated by Maya, but we're going to do some cool constraints with with this reference that I mentioned before, and we're going to do some pretty cool stuff. And it just lagged a little bit, so I am going to save as. We're going to save that real quick before we lose anything again, and we're just going to continue on. Um, Everything looks right. Again, we're not touching the tongue or the belly until the very end, but we're going to remove this. Yeah, there we go. Same thing with this one. Kind of want that one. Probably go back out a bit. There we go. But we have to make adjustments again. Awesome. Actually, it doesn't look too bad. That one's fine. That one's fine. Yeah. Okay. I like it. Key on that. Frame 15. The next frame is going to be the retract. So he's going to pop up a little bit and then go back down and settle. And it is very important to get this frame, even mentioned by Jonathan Cooper. It's very important because it's like a visual cue, and you also need that time to go back. And when you're doing combos on animations, it's set up um, to be ready for the next combo. However, I'm pretty sure this character is not doing a combo. Uh, I don't think he's gonna be doing a combo. I'll have to talk to my buddy again, my buddy Logan, which is funny because all right. So how I met him is actually a really funny and awesome story. So him and the other people working on this game. I have a friend, SJ. So at SCAD, the SCAD opens the Global Game Jam, which just happened a couple weeks ago, a couple days ago, a couple weeks ago, and I really wanted to do a Global Game Jam. It's a very good way to get out there, meet people, and actually get a game under your belt. However, I didn't know anybody, not many people in the game development that were doing it back in 2017. And I had a friend SJ who's an animator, was going to do it with this team, but she had to back out at the last minute. And I said I was talking to her that I really wanted to do it. And it was just a couple days ahead of time, and um, it was just a couple days ahead of time. And she gave me in contact with one of the game developers, or the game development students, Monica. And I said like I'll take your spot for you because I've always wanted to do it, but I don't know anybody. And I said I'd do it, and I texted Monica and started talking to her at first. And we kind of became friends. I wanted to be very enthusiastic. SJ gave me a good recommendation to her, and I met her. Then I met Logan that same day that the Global Game Jam. If you don't know what Global Game Jam is, real quick, Global Game Jam is a specific game jam. A game jam is normally a set time where it's a they give you the theme at the last minute or just before it starts, and then you have a certain amount of hours to create a game. Um, and Global Game Jam is one of the most popular ones, and it's done around the world. Everybody does it at the same time. However, they're mostly judged at the who's ever hosting it. And in Savannah, at SCAD, it's done with Savannah and the Guild Hall, which is another gaming place out in town where they kind of teach people how to make games and animate, and they also do their own gaming stuff, like Dungeons and Dragons and Warhammer and a bunch of other different stuff like that. It's really cool. We're just gonna zero out this stuff because I just want to get a good view. But I met them. We decided to do a game jam. The theme for 2017 was waves, and we wanted to do gravity waves. We did a really sweet game. We called it Alter Gravity. We ended up winning the Global Game Jam at SCAD, Best in Show and Crowd Favorite. The crowd got to vote on it. It was absolutely phenomenal. And the Guildhall does their own thing called Geek End. Geek End, I think. I forget. And we ended up winning a little thing there. And through the Game Jam, the Global Game Jam, we ended up winning Best in Georgia that year too. And then the game won Best 2D Game at SCAD. I'm not trying to brag. Not, but the game won a lot of awards, which was incredible. Oh no, we want that back a little bit, actually. It won a lot, and they were really good people. But Logan was actually a little bit intimidating to me. I'm not. He's smaller than me, like physically, but I'm not really intimidated by people in size. I'm normally intimidated by people and their personalities. Not to say he's a mean person by any means. It's just just the way I am, not necessarily he or other people are when they intimidate me. And I don't know. I get quiet sometimes. But he's a good person. But that's how I met him and the other people working on this game was through that game jam, and it was phenomenal. They actually won 2018. I didn't get to game jam with them. I did a game jam with somebody else last year. Um, we didn't win anything, but I had a lot of fun. I did actually most of the programming in Unity at the time, and I learned how much I don't know of programming in Unity, but I learned a lot at the same time. So uh, I am not programming for this. I am an animator, but I do want to learn all different forms of the game developing process. I don't think I will ever get to stream the programming side of it. I will probably eventually get to streaming modeling, definitely rigging. I took a lot of classes on rigging and I understand how rigging works. Not necessarily for games, but definitely for animation. And those are two different things. If you think they are the same, you are clearly mistaken. We're going to get a good retraction. Probably might not spend too long on the retraction of it, but that's the only thing, aside from like the um, the joint direction of this rig. The only thing I wish it had, which not a big deal, not every rig has this. I just wish it had the switch where it makes the head perfectly level with world space, as opposed to taking the direct connection from the chest, because then you have to counter animate a little bit if you want to keep it level. Not that big a deal though. There's no control for it. Unless there's another control hidden somewhere. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to I forgot to do the cheeks on the walk cycle. Logan, if you're watching this, I am sorry. I mean, you barely notice it, and honestly, the walk cycle it goes so quick, you probably wouldn't notice that much. People's eyes are going to focus on the tongue, the head, the top of the head, and definitely the sword. That's going to be the biggest thing. Arm goes back more like that. There we go. Counterbalance on the arm. Not as heavy as before for the counterbalance. Goes up slightly. Bam. Up and then back. Yeah, nice. So a lot of the quick movements are going to be like from there to there. That's very quick. Especially from here to here, there's probably going to only be like 3 frames, but I just like to spread them out a little bit first. Just put it in front more. But like I said, it's just keyframing. Just simple keyframing. Up a little bit. Maybe this one down a little bit then. How's that? That might a little bit. Something I forgot to do. These translations on these to go back because it was a stretch. We don't want them to stretch the entire time. Just to make sure. Alright. Bam, bam, and then back. Almost there. This was supposed to go a lot quicker than I expected, but alright, this was supposed to go a little bit quicker, but it's taking longer than I expected. You know what? going to keep it to the right limit. I did have a slight curve, slight rotation, like that, slightly. And it's going to make it a little bit more lifelike. Maybe less than just a little bit. There we go. Probably move it in just slightly down a little bit. Okay. We don't want it going too much, but this is going to take up most of the time. Is going from back to idle. That's going to take up the most time. Oh, slight head rotation. Everything looks good. Yeah, we're going to over-exaggerate that a little bit. Yeah, I think that's what we want to be doing. And we're going to save that. Bam, bam, bam. So, now we're actually going to get into the official blocking of it. One, two, three, four, technically five. Alright. So now we're going to get the timing of it. Turn this all to block. How's everybody doing today? Everybody good? Probably want a little bit extra time. We might get that like really up and then bam. And this is probably only going to be instead of one straight ahead, probably. We're going to give it one, two, we're going to give it 3 frames. That's probably going to be where we're going to have it. And then from there to there, it's probably 2 frames. So that seems about right. A little bit longer to here. Oh. That's probably what we're going to want. So now we're just going to play the blocking. So that's generally the timing we're going to have. Alright. One thing we are going to change though is we're going to rotate the foot. Maybe I could just... Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. We're breaking the ankle. Awesome. Now we're going to add a little... Oh, shoot. I always do that. Sometimes, I don't know how, I always get off the frame that I'm trying to do that on, but... I don't know how I do that. I really don't. Alright, we're gonna do it. I just really want to see a lot of that foot. That's just the only thing. I don't want to have to do this, but I just wish it had this control. Oh, come on. That's the button. Bam, bam, thank you, man. actually. Here we go. Just gonna do this. Bam. Window. Yeah, it's not what we wanted. Alright. Not a biggie. So what I'm doing is I'm just making a foot placement. Just so I know where the just so I know where the foot is. It's just gonna make it easier for me. You're not gonna die on me. Don't die on me. There we go. We're gonna do the same thing for the back. Drop that down a little bit. Make it a little bit beefier, just so I could see it. There we go. Alright. Now we can play with the foot. Yeah. There we go. It's gonna be minor. Nobody's gonna notice that. And then we're gonna counter animate the toes. Right then and there. Every time I animate, this song comes up. I love it. It's Cowboy Bebop, man. Cowboy Bebop. There you go. Yeah, that's nice. We're gonna copy that one. Fudge! Why? That's twice today. I don't get it. I don't get it. Maya, why you hate me today? Maya hates me. That probably sounded gross. Alright, so the last couple of times it would freeze and then unfreeze. Give me a chance to save it, and then I'd get back into it. Oh no. What? Please tell me at least. Where did I last leave off? Fudge. Fudge, fudge, fudge. Shut up, Dad. Shut up, Jimmy. Dang it. Totally messed that up. Well, I didn't mess it up. It's not a fault of mine. It's nothing I did that caused that to happen. Maya just crashes. And for some reason, it's happening a lot today. When I did the walk cycle with the same character, I think it only happened once. And like sometimes like I'll do like tons of animations and it won't ever happen through the entire animations. It just happens. Son of a bee sting. And I'm trying my best not to curse either. Like that's the other thing. Fuck. Alright. Dang it. I only got this one. What was this? Why do I have animations then from it? I only have two. Thanks, Maya. Thank you. Oh, today's rough. I have to do it though. We're gonna get as much done. I thought this was just gonna be a one-day animation, but the way this is going, it is not. Gotta love Maya. I do remember everything, but like I said, it's not the end of the world. It really isn't. It's just friggin' annoying sometimes. Um, oh come on! Don't do this to me now. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Why? 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 I'm not doing anything bad. I'm not doing anything. Oh my god. I swear it's not my fault. I'm not doing anything like strenuous on the computer. It's definitely not the computer's fault. This is a freaking brand new computer. Definitely ain't that. Like it's not whining. Aha! No, maybe. I don't know. Why are you doing this to me? It's embarrassing. It really is that this is happening. Not like I did much work, but I did a lot of explanation, and now I just keep losing my spot. And it's usually when I'm rotating something too. Do I have too much stuff running at once? We're gonna start closing some stuff out. Don't need that. Don't need that. Gotta keep that up. Gotta keep that. Need that. Need that. I don't know. Twice. Twice within less than a minute, and it's gonna do this to me. Sometimes it's the rig. On occasion, it can be. What in the hell? We're just gonna have to save this more often. Not that big a deal. Not that big a deal. Like I said, it's not the end of the world. It just gives me a chance to do things better. And technically, in the scheme of the animation, you do end up doing it faster. Technically. I'm so tired right now. But, yeah. For those of you who just support me and love me, this is what I do all day long. All day. Every day. And I absolutely love it. This is what I want to do the rest of my life. Make animations and make games. Looks good. Increment and save. That's what we're doing too. Oh no. The other thing I just forgot to do. Oh, that, this, that. Remove the translations. Actually, we could even do the reverse of that. Let's hope it doesn't. Squash the character a little bit. Yeah. It's just sometimes the animation you get some weird crazy poses sometimes and they just make me laugh. Sometimes zeroing out is just helpful. How's everybody's day going? Aside from my crashing, I'm doing pretty good. Sorry, I just needed to look away from that screen for a second. Yeah, let's turn this more. Down, forward, up and back, up, back. Ah, there we go. We found a gimbal, everybody. Where did it come from? Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? There's a few different ways to fix gimbal. So that's probably gonna have to, oh Nelly. What? This didn't happen before. Awesome. So we found a gimbal. Son of a bee sting. I hate this. It didn't do it before. That's the worst part. It didn't do it before. Alright. Guess what we're doing? Deleting all of that. And now it goes the other direction. Closer to what we want. Alright, we're gonna just keep it like that. That's better. Slightly better than what we had before, so we're gonna keep it like that. I do enjoy this. I know I'm stressed out a little bit, but it's just when one thing rolls into the other. Hand this down a little bit. So the other thing is obviously overlapping. We're not gonna have everything end on the same thing because that's not right. Which is weird because you know what? The right arm doesn't freaking go to gimbal, but alright. And the arm, whatever. It's funny. It's funny. What I'm doing is I'm just making sure the body doesn't travel too far. We don't want it to travel too far from this pose to that because it's going to be a long, slow movement. Oh, I kind of like it. Increment and save, and we good to go. Well, sorry, there's a lot of things I forgot to fix. A nice curve again. It's still over the heel. We're good. And we want him to go back and then move forward. Settle. Awesome. This is what I wanted to do for it. Save again. Because I don't know what I just did, but I did something. Now we gotta do that whole creating the little cube. And getting it to look. There we go. So I normally listen to rock stuff. Jesus. No. My favorite band of all time, Coheed and Cambria. They're awesome. Definitely check them out. But when animating, I don't. I don't think I ever listen to them while animating. It's like a rare occurrence. But why is that extrude? That shouldn't be extrude. That's weird. Learned something new. Alright. Come on. Click the right tool. There we go. That's better. So we're going to do some playing around here. Maybe that's not what I want. Oh, ball roll. The fudge just happened. Good thing I saved it this time. And then it gave the action report this time as well. We're gonna get this. All right. I've had some mistakes. I have. I had it with the walk to run cycle. I've had it with the walk cycle on the frog. I've had mistakes. I've had errors. And you know what? I've gotten through them. I've animated them, and they came out pretty darn good. Looking back on the walk to run cycle, I could see some mistakes clearly. No animation, even professionals in my eyes, um, are not perfect. No animation is perfect. Not to me. Probably not to those animators as well. I'm not saying that because I think all animation is crap, and because I think I'm better than everybody else can animate. No, don't mean that by any means possible. What I'm saying is it could always be better. Everything has room for improvement. Everything can be fixed upon and everything. And sometimes that might uh, it makes me somewhat of a perfectionist, and it should be a mentality of an animator, but and it'll sometimes stretch the workload of the animation, or the time the animation needs. It just depends. But looking back on that walk to run cycle, I see some mistakes. Even the walk cycle and the run cycle itself has some mistakes. And maybe a little bit further in time, I'll look back on the Frogman walk cycle and see more mistakes. I do notice mistakes in that too, but I'm not really fretting on those. Zero There we go. That's better. That's what you know. What I was gonna do something else. That's what I want. The only thing I wish it did was let's check some. Ooh, excuse me. That's not bending at the right spot. I wish it was like bending halfway. And that's pretty good. That's looking better. Bank it a little bit. And then just animate these toes. Toesies. I was worried that those controls weren't going to work right. Oh, owie. Actually, I think we have room to lift the character up even further now that I did that. Yay! Perfect. This is nice. Very nice. Very nice. Plus, you're not really going to notice these toes anyway. But I do like the movement on them because your toes are going to move, your feet are going to rotate and always do something no matter what you do. Bam! That's what I wanted. I want that little stretch in the legs. It's a frog. It's a frog. what is the most important part of a frog? Technically all of it. But when it jumps, its main force is in its legs. You want to show off those legs. Shorty got legs for days. Just thinking about those legs. I love Borderlands 2. Can't wait for 3. I love Gearbox. I really like. I would love to work for any gaming animation company. No, it doesn't like I just want to work on anime. But if there is one company for game purposes that I would kill to work for, it would be Gearbox. Because I love Borderlands so much. Okay, well, I did save it though. I did save it this time, and this is what I was doing the other day, where it gave me a chance to save it before it crashes. Now it's doing what I want. Now it's doing it somewhat. I mean, it's crashing still, and I don't want it to crash, but we're gonna take a quick break. I gotta pee really bad, and I'm gonna go curse my head off. Thank you. All right, sorry about that. I am back. Multiple crashes today. I love how they're all on the stream that was a little bit important to me today. Just a little bit important. Whoa. I think I found something. Which I think I know why it's crashing. I don't know why this would have an effect on it. But it does. And we're going to fix that. Because I just noticed the error that came up. Normally, normally I disregard all errors that come up, but I think I found it. I think it's in the rig. Not that it's the rig. This is not the rigger's fault at all. This is my fault. Yep. Let's reset it. So the timing was different. Hopefully this should alleviate all crashes because I think what it's trying to do was it was trying to calculate the timing from 24 frames per second from the rig to the setting, which is 30 frames. I think it should automatically take over the 30 and just animate that way. But in case it didn't do that and is doing some weird things, some back things that was messing me up, this could fix it. Just fix it. Yeah, and then the error's gone. Please, please, we're gonna test it. This is the control that's been crashing the most. And we're good. Because I'm good. I'm smart. Golden. Alright, there we go. I like it. I like the foot movement. Except for right there. Caught you. This one's fine with moving a little bit, but don't want it to be moving too much. There we go. And I'm experiencing no Maya problems. Zero. Zip. Nada. You know how happy I am right now? Oh, if it, I could, you could just tell it was doing some weird things before. I feel better. Now we can finish this animation on a good note. Do probably till like 3 o'clock. Another hour 20. We could probably get a good portion of this done. What do you think? Oh, not that one. You son of a bee sting. I'm trying my best not to friggin' curse. but I'm doing it. But mhm. All right, I lost what I was doing for a second. Turn that off. Just adjusting these, getting that appeal. Oh, no, that's not what I want. There we go. All right. Bam, bam, bam. Okay. I like it. Did all my adjustments. Let's go back to doing the timing. Sorry, it's been a little stressful. Go back to blocking. I'm pretty sure I moved this up to 6. Left that at 10. Just that to there. Kept that really long. I think that's the timing we want. I think we want a little bit more time right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to... Nope. Give it about... Let's give it a full 10 seconds. Just make it even. Definitely don't want this to be even going from that to that. I like it. I like the timing. I feel like that's good timing. Anybody else have any objections? No? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Because that is the timing we are going with. So we're going to try something that I've seen people do with the tween machine. We could potentially just do this continuously. Alright, we're going to have to fix that arm, but... Let's fix that arm real quick. So we're going to have to do this frame by hand, though. This is going to be the foremost part of the sword. And we're going to get into, finally, that reference. Feel me, homie? So that's going to be the foremost part. We're going to, this book again. This is, lead with the head. So we're going to lead with the head as well. So we are going to do this. And now we're animating. It's actually not doing a too bad of a path already. But we're gonna do my adjustment. Drop him down a little bit. Move forward. Oh, we already did move forward. Drop him down. Why? Why are you going to gimbal? Why now? This is what happens when the joints are not right. Whatever. Alright, so we're going to give it a little hang time at the bottom. I'm going to delete those frames because I don't like them. We're gonna try something. It's a little bit better. Don't worry. So it looks pretty spiny and crazy right now. Not to fret. We're gonna delay a lot of this. Maybe a little less time up at the top. Trial and error with this timing. I now don't like that arm coming up as much as it does right there. Oh, I like it. He's like covering his belly almost. Which is nice. Alright, so obviously the biggest problem with what's going on right now is everything's happening all at the same time. That's fine. That's kind of what we want at this moment. Um, we're going to play with the overlapping, but what are you doing there? Hmm. Why are you doing that? Oh, I think we might end it here. We were doing great. Maybe it is the computer. Two-second Spotify. Who's followed me? Oh, thank you for following me. You're following me at a bad point where I just found out I had a I had a Maya crash. And I think I know why. Where are you? Where are you? Yeah, I know. I had another oopsie again. But I think I found the mistake this time. I checked the programming behind Maya a little bit. And hopefully this should be the fix for it. Should be. Keyword. Should be. And file. We could, you know, I might as well just do this later. Oh wait. Okay, guess that's not it. All right. I'm gonna have to look up the fix again later. Not a big deal, but I keep losing my seat, and it's not no bueno. Where did it last save? Awesome. Well, we get to redo the timing, so that's good. So we want a little bit. Not that. I'm gonna give it to here. 10 seconds to. 10 seconds to the attack. A few to the wind up. Maybe. Let's try it this way. We're only gonna give it 2 because I kind of want a little bit of a drag for the player time. And So we're going to keep the same, but we're going to drag it just a bit. We're going to keep the speed. Bam. Bam. What do you think? Do you like the timing? Yes, no, yay, nay, timing. I kind of like that timing. Give it enough pullback. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I think I wanted to extend this out a little bit. That's what I did before. I want you to stop this time. For a frog swinging a stick. It's actually like a scissor thing. It's like a half blade of a scissor, kind of like this anime called Kill la Kill. Very awesome anime. The main character, it's a lot about like up front, behind all the metaphors. It's about a girl fighting using clothes, but not. It's weird. She has a scissor blade, like half a scissor, and she's looking for the other half of the scissor, using that similar kind of weapon. Very good anime. Incredibly funny. That's yeah. Actually, maybe this is a little quicker. I don't know. Maybe I have this frame wrong. Or this frame wrong. No, this is that frame. Let's go back to reference. How do I do it? Oh, oh. Don't look at me. I'm ugly. How do I do it in this one? This is the different tech. This is where I kind of like make a contact and come back. I kind of like it more on the second one, just as he comes back, but I don't. I like immediately almost I go up and pop back into it. You know what I'm gonna do? We're gonna change this from the pose to the tween. It's gonna go up. Maybe not rotate him back as much. We're gonna try that. Oh, I lowered the arm last time too. I think I had it up higher and more. Sticks a little bit too much on the down. Pop that back a few frames. Yeah, there we go. That's the way. Now I feel like it needs more charge up time though. Just like a frame or two. We could take it from this one. Let's try and tween it just a little bit more again. Just in the in-between right here. Get that charge up. There we go. There we go. So we wanted to hold it at that mid part just a bit to show the player that, oh, I'm going to attack. Get the charge up, just a few extra frames. Bam, 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 bam. But when it goes forward, it needs to be quick. So I like the speed of it. It's not too fast. It's not. Honestly, a proper attack should probably be 1 frame faster, but I want it to be somewhat slower for the character. But as he comes down, this is going to rotate outward. So this is obviously going to get fixed, but I like it. And that's an attack. Kind of. Well, obviously, we got to do a lot of cleanup now. Or kind of cleanup right now. Alright. We're going to twist the body more. We're going to tween this. On that same mid. Straighten the arm out. So this is going to be the straight arm pose. And it's going to be out as far as it can be. And as soon as I'm done with this, I am saving this so we don't lose this. Chicken direction. Yeah. Saved. We're saved. That's pretty good. Obviously, that arm is popping way too much. Whoa. Whew. Man, that arm really snaps. Gimbal. Animate by hand. Love it. Love animating by hand. Am I doing that, Dad? Um, no, not currently. I have a few ideas that I want to work on. I have a 2D clip that I want to make. That's probably going to be the first and foremost on my own. Well, not really on my own. That's a secret. Just letting you know there's something 2D coming up that I want to work on. Then, at the same time as that, I want to also work on a indie 2D pixel game eventually, and I might stream that. That might get streamed. And then on top of that, I also want to kind of do like my SCAD senior film that I never got to do. So this is going into a gimbal thing right here. You can see how this graph is going all crazy. This is what's called gimbal. It just happens on a rotation thing. There's a way to fix it. There's a bunch of ways to fix this. Could try this. That somewhat worked. Really, he's throwing his friggin' elbow back though. But you see how like these graphs keep crossing each other? That's what's called the gimbal lock program, and that or the program, a gimbal lock. And so these are world rotation or object rotations. Then you have world where it rotates in world space. Then you have so like up, down, left, right always rotates in world and adjusts these no matter what. Object is to the object itself. Like it's always this is always going to be the objects rotate X, rotate Y, rotate Z. Then you have gimbal. Look at this freaking thing. Look at see, it's not even right. There's a lot of things that's wrong with that, but not only that, sometimes gimbal will move these across these axes. It'll move them across the axis. They're different axes and change up their direction. That's what's going on right there. And it's a problem. There's a few ways to fix it. I forget off the top of my head how to fix the best way to fix it. My SCAD film, probably not all on my own. I'm gonna get a few people to help with a few things. Like I asked a certain person to help me with a character design. It's only be one character. The rest of it, I'm gonna do a lot of it, or I'm gonna try and do a lot of it myself. Modeling, the rigging, just the character design, just literally just the drawing. I'm literally just gonna make the character, model everything after that. And I might need help with the music and sound. And I wonder who I'm going to ask to help me with that. I already have it all written out. I have the entire thing written out. I almost have it storyboarded out. I just need the character and want to take the time to model and do it. That might be a summer project thing. The only reason I want to wait on it is because I've been delaying the other thing for a while. Yeah, Cardi B. I don't even know who that is because I'm not relevant. Or maybe you told me. I forget. I don't know. We're gonna undo this gimbal lock thing. Or, you know what the best thing I can do? Just delete all of it. I also don't watch TV, Dad. Or news. Actually, that looks better. There we go. Fixed it. Bam. Like I would know that. I I don't do the celebrity following thing. I focus a lot of my time on work and my wife and dogs. I do. And occasionally gaming. I know it was a joke then, but I still don't know who she is. He, she. You said she. All right. I like the timing. I like the pose. The spine is nice. Only thing is, I gotta see that leg. I think there's something I have to fix. Hmm. Commit and save. When I touch this, it crashes the most. There we go. You know what? Yeah. Yeah. This is what we want. This is what we want. This is what we want. Squash. Squash on the character. Knee up a little bit. Like that. Nice. No, Dad, you have to keep watching me. At least keep it on. God. I thought you supported and loved me. Just kidding. Lead with the head. What if we just do this? We're kind of in between spleen. I am the spleen. Maybe I don't need it. Yeah. Alright, quick bathroom break. I don't know why I gotta go to the bathroom so dang much today. First, we're gonna save it. Save. Alright, that was a quick bathroom break. And I'm back. I'm back. Sorry, I'm taking a mental break for just 2 seconds. I've been animating straight right now for the last. How long is the stream going on for? I don't even know. Oh man. 3 hours. Animated straight last year. There's barely any breaks. We're continuing to go. We're gonna push this as far as I can. I want to finish this if I can. Just taking a mental break. Just give me a second. I'll be ready to go in just a bit. Alright, we're good. Hoi. Money in the bank. Alright. Oh, nice. Nice. That's good. That's good news. Alright. Back to animating. Why? Why does that happen? Alright, let's start delaying stuff. I love delaying. Oh. Delaying everything. It's what we do. It's what we do. I was watching um, Suicide Squad last night. I actually really enjoy that movie. It, it's like I can't explain it. It's not perfect, but I just enjoy watching it. And we're gonna delay all of these rotations. 1, 2 by 2. 1, 2. We're gonna speed up the front. We're gonna get this arm to reach forward first. We can get this to go. We're gonna do it. We're gonna break the arm. snaps too much. I think it's because we lose it. I think if we just keep a little bit of it in view, it's going to be a little bit more believable. Yeah. Better. I saved it! I saved it! It crashed, but I saved it. One ridiculous day. Give it another 30 minutes. We gotten pretty far. We're getting close with it. Plus, we might have to do this over again anyway, for a reason. In case the game designer on it, for some reason, doesn't like it. Or not that he doesn't. Well, actually, yeah. If he doesn't like it too, that's another reason why. I think that's gimbal, right? Yeah. Why? Oh. Yeah, there we go. So we're changing up this arm as it goes. Getting closer with that head turn that I want. I might just call it. Thing is, I'm so worn right now. I want to keep animating, but I just know. Saving it. Oh man, this song is sad. So this is a song for Gurren Lagann. Oh god, it's so sad. Come on. I am just a little bit angry today. For good reason, though. I wonder if we can delay these. Wah. Mystery box is over there. That's pretty funny. You're a funny guy, Jimbo. Be right back. Nothing. Alright, I'm back. Howdy bogowdy. Oh, I'm back. I'm sorry, I forgot to put the scene back on. Now, before I go any further, we're gonna stop the stream here. Before I go any further, I'm gonna have to send this off to Logan and see what he thinks about this. But this is what we got so far. I like the timing. I like everything so far. Not completely cleaned up by any means. This is not clean. Um, but it's pretty good. I really like it. You know what? There's one thing I want to do though. I kind of like that a little bit more. I've been filling it up all day. Yeah, alright. It's pretty good for right now. Checking from different angles this time. Yeah. Alright. Save it. Gonna send it to Logan. See if he likes it. I got more to do to it, clearly. And we'll finish it up next time. I just need his okay. Hi, Nugs. Hi, my beautiful little girl. How are you? Oh, my little pea. My little princess pea. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna send it to him. See what he thinks. Oh, I know, we're gonna see what he thinks. If he likes it, we're gonna continue on with it. If not, then we gotta do a lot of it over again. Alright, thanks for watching. It's been fun animating this fine, gorgeous piece because. Oh, 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 oh. um, hi, Bruce. It's been fine. It's been fun. Having a lot of problems, but got everything done I want to get done so far. We're gonna send Logan, see what he thinks, and then yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.